Sumit. We'll have a panel discussion. I request Ms. Eva to come on stage.
For a very exhaustive presentations and content in different directions on different industries. I mean, it's been quite heavy for me. I hope for others would have been quite light. I hope since we have less time, we have about 10 minutes for before tea. I'll open it for audience for questions straight away. Please move the mics, please. Please introduce yourself, and then the question is to whom. Okay.
Yes, good morning, and thank you for insightful from both of you. So, this is Amit Singh, and I am working in OK Oman. I have two questions for both of the presenters. So, fantastic presentation on the Renault and technology which has been shown on the digital transformation and a lot of enhancement, and also it has been talk about the security aspects. So in terms of cyber security in automotive sector, because supply chain is quite exhaustive, I believe, in automobile sector. So really, because these challenges in other industries are as well there. So while going so aggressive, because you have some 100 days plan or something, how you are tackling this supply chain kind of issues in terms of security? And do you really see this is a challenge, and especially looking your timeline? And maybe I will put also question, another question to our honorable guest from NTPC. As rightly said, each and every technology has been shown in very short span. So I'm not clear if NTPC is already implementing all these technologies altogether, or you just shown what is going on. But my question here is, because in your presentation it has been shown a lot of power plant which is since 1970s, 80s, and so. So how it is tackling in such a hyper transformative and disruptive technology era, especially the legacy system, relay-based system, a lot of system older. So are you really able to go flawlessly for such a transformation, which all things you has been showing, or what sort of challenges you are facing?
Thanks for the question. Eva, you would like to?
Sure. As I preempted in my session, cybersecurity is absolutely one of our big focus areas, with so much of technology coming into the making of a car, right? So in the past, all of us are very familiar with this SOCs, Security Operation Centers, which monitor your firewalls and networks. Today, we are setting up vehicle SOCs, so which means in India, in our teams, we are having Security Operation Centers, which are monitoring all the cars which are connected, right, which have connected services enabled in them. Your question was specifically on suppliers, right? As you said, as you rightly said, our cars are dependent on a huge number of supplier components coming together. And some of these components are static components, but some of them are connected services, especially the embedded software, the infotainment, the upgrades that come via OTA from some of our suppliers. So few things we do, right? One is, today, because the Indian government itself is coming up with the regulations for securing a vehicle from a safety perspective. So there are guidelines on what are the processes that our suppliers need to follow. In the past, cost and quality were the only considerations, right? But today, we are insisting that they are going for their respective certifications before they bring products to us. For example, a good example is companies like Bosch. They are very ahead of the game. They have most of the components that they give us that are pre-certified. And even if they are pre-certified, when they come into our ecosystem, there is a rigorous audit, and the finished product, which is a car, goes through an enormous amount of scrutiny at various junctures in design, development, and the testing phase from a cyber security angle. So these are interventions. It's a journey. I mean, I think cyber in the context of auto is I think we only scratched the tip of the surface, right? There is so much more that we need to invest on, but these are some things that we are currently doing today.
Yeah, thank you. And see, sir, we are basically an end user. So we use technology products which are built by the OEMs like Yokogawa and others, and And whatever we put forth, or I put forth in my presentation, there are two aspects of it. One is a set of technologies wherein NTPC is already investing and getting it into our fray. So that was brought in our digitalization, portfolio, wherein there are some things which we have actually done in terms of some digital twin implementation and other things. There's a long way to go further. And the second one is our understanding of where the automation world or the automation sector for our industry or for our sector per se is actually going, or actually transitioning, considering the kind of developments which are taking place across the globe as of now, as we speak. So, and how NTPC or how my sector per se, how those solutions can fit in, or those, can actually be implemented there. So that is, there's a thought process to see and to, put forth an idea in front of all of you, so as to, think something for this area as well. Because what happens here is, this generation sector is affecting sustainability, is affecting, has a huge imprint on CO2 generation, on environment per se, and we have to incorporate or inculcate newer technologies to make it safe, to bring down the emission levels, and to sustain in the business, to remain there. The legacy systems, you said, relay-based systems, you pointed out, they have been phased out, have been and they are being phased out slowly and steadily through renovation and modernization drives which take place in our organization. And but you see, being a public sector organization, we still have some mandate to go with proven systems, right? But the understanding has to be, when the new development takes place, getting proven systems off the shelf, off the hand, might be a real difficult task, and we have to be open to that as well. So, in these interesting times, we are also calibrating the way we should approach to development in technology, and let's see where we can reach. But then it is a mix between what we could do and what we also intend to do, and what we are looking in and around, or what we are finding in and around. For example, development in sensors, But then sensor technologies at some places, so we ask for provenness. Provenness requires 1 year of successful utilization somewhere, but then that might be difficult. People may not give certificates also. So there are certain challenges, and there are some interesting, things to get from.
I think time is there for only one question.
Just to
only
add,
one more.
Sir, can I just add one point to my previous topic on cyber? In the past, when we build large-scale IT systems, we put them through pen testing and vulnerability testing, right? Today, we can't send a car to the street without a vehicle penetration testing, right? And some of the recent findings, right? The amount of vulnerabilities that exist in a simple key fob, the key that you use to open a car, the access that a hacker can potentially have using the key fob into the connected services system. I mean, these are things that 5 years back, even none of us considered as a potential threat, right? But today, as I said, without a vehicle pen test or penetration testing that is signed off, a vehicle cannot come to the street.
One last question. I think a lot of friends, I think we have to stop at 1 or 2 questions only. You can network during the tea breaks, please. Yeah. Please introduce yourself. Yeah.
Yes. So for NTPC, you talked about agentic AI. I was wondering if you can give a little bit more information about how you might be implementing that type of AI and what type of business problems and decisions you're trying to have it solve. And I was actually also kind of curious if, for Nissan, if they're looking at decision automation and that kind of next level of AI as well.
With regard to agentic AI, I understand that, or this is purely my understanding. It might be wrong. Okay, you need to correct me. So my understanding is that it is still at its nascent stage, And it is getting developed for other industry or for the other sectors per se. But Yokogawa came up with an interesting, reinforcement learning-based algorithm sometimes back, and they at US they claim to have, automated the process of, a singular process in a refinery or something, making use of that algorithm, manless to that extent. So there are some very, very interesting, uses. So for example, can I have an agent for my operation people, the people who operate the thermal generating units, that because of the time limitations, there are process and so many parameters changing and so much of interaction taking place. At times, the operators in our kind of organization, all those who have been working for years together, they graduate to senior positions and they retire. Newer people who are coming, can we have such kind of agents who will be able to do a supporting role? Some of the tasks can be done autonomously in a generating station or in an operation, operation area per se. Some of those places, some of those activities which an operator does can be learned, and with human in the loop, with RLHF or RLAF for that matter, reinforcement learning through human or artificial AI feedback, can something be developed to aid operators? That is one of the use cases, right? One of the things which back up, just instantaneously comes to my mind. There may be so many others. Okay. So many others.
One last question, only one, please. Anyone? Otherwise, we can break for tea.
My question is to
NTPC. Please.
Yeah, Sheshadri from
Brief.
Yeah, sure. NTPC. Are you using any technologies for bringing down the transmission losses from the power generation to the grid?
Sir, I'm not aware, to be very honest.
He's from the generating group now. Okay, I think we'll break for tea now. Before we break, I'd like all of you to join hands in giving a good round of applause.